my name is Sophie, I'm the autistic autist, and today we are going to talk about med school stuff. So, it's time for another med school update. I'm now in the 4th semester, which means I have still 8 semesters left. Which means 4 years. 2 of those are more practical, and 2 of those are still theoretical, more on diseases and not so much more in the university and not so much in the hospital. So, second year, what changed? First thing first, starting next Wednesday, I'm going to have lessons on a human body, on a dead human body, which I will cut into. That sounds so weird. I'm searching for the English words. Yeah, there are none in my head. Thank you, Leo, for your existence. Sezieren. Dissection. Okay, which I will dissect, and my cat is eating this plant, which is not living, it's just paper, so my cat is nibbling on paper. Hi. Oh, I got some kisses. So that's a big thing that changes, something I was quite scared of before med school, but now I feel far better about it. I also watched some videos on YouTube, which helped me get get to know the situation and how things will look like. And it's a different thing than seeing a body. It's kind of it looks different. I can link some videos if I think about it, if I remember it. But it's different looking than almost living or living human body. And I don't have a problem with surgeries, so that was fine always. I just wasn't sure how I will react to looking at someone who lived but isn't living anymore. Looking at the life that is gone, basically. But I'm pretty cool with it now, which I think is experience in med school and the ability that you can learn from the body and time in med school, I'd say. I'm not sure. I think you learn things about the human body and you think about death, and it gets different. It's not that it's not a sad thing anymore. It's just my brain works through it in a different way, I'd say. Yeah, that's that. And we started to actually talk more about diseases last semester, so the 3rd semester, which made me come into learn some things about the human body and diseases, and with me having some chronic conditions, and especially with me having some chronic conditions, but also just in general, med students come to a point where they hear about diseases and they kind of think about, could I have that too? It's close to the guru thing where you get out some horrible diseases and you're like, oh my gosh, do I have that? But let's explain to you in an example. So some time early in the semester, we talked about rabies, I think. So some time in the semester we started talking about rabies, and what I learned and I didn't know was that rabies can actually cat something I didn't know was that rabies can actually happen. It depends on the source, 5 to 10 years after the virus enters into your body, and once rabies hits a certain stadium, you can't cure it, you can't treat it, you're going to die from it. So if it happens and you get the first symptoms, or you're like, oh my gosh, I got bit by a foamy mouth from a wild animal, and you go to the doctor, then you will get shots and everything and get treated. But if it doesn't happen, like, who thinks about, oh, I got bitten by this random dog 5 years ago? No one's going to think about it. And when then the symptoms come, you're basically searching for you're basically not your chances of surviving this are not that big. It's more complicated then, and I had a situation 5-7 around-ish years ago where I met a cat in my local area, which was pretty rough looking. Like, her ear was bloody, she was crumbling, her tail looked kind of brokenish. She looked like a street cat, but like one that was in 1500 fights. And I wasn't sure about her health, so my idea was to bring her to the vet. With me not having a lot of experience with wild cats and how you should interact with them, my idea was to make her friendly by giving her some treats, and then we will happily move to the vet and she will help her and everything's fine and great. Well, you can't like de-wild cats like that. Which I learned the hard way by giving her some treats and then coming like a little bit too close to her, which made her from getting the last treat to I'll bite you in the finger and I'll bite strongly, which my reaction to that was to actually hiss back at her. So I was like, you too. And then I did I treated the wound, but I didn't got like a shot or something like that. So we did what but like it got treated with disinfectant and everything, and there was some kind of damage to my finger that needed to be cured. But it was something that like growed out of my finger, like it's kind of something was in there, and then it was like a little rough. The skin was kind of deadish, but we got rid of it, and now my finger is not back to normal again since like 4 or 5 years ago. It depends on when it was, but 1 year after I was completely rid of any signs of this. I can't even find a scar or anything on my finger, but I was bitten by that cat, and for a second when we talked about this, I was like, oh shoot, this could happen to me anytime. And symptoms, especially at the beginning, are so common that for like 1 day or so, I sat at home and was like, what if this random thing happens to me? And out of nowhere, I go from completely happy living my life, trying to figure things out, to this is almost done. And it was such a weird feeling, because there are diseases out there that could like do nothing, like viral infections like measles, for example. where you don't have anything happen to you, and then out of nowhere, oh, you got meningitis, and you fight for your life. Or there are even some diseases where the virus gets into your brain and kind of infects it and reinfects it, and you don't really have symptoms until there's so many virus in your head that you get dementia and your brain stops working and working and working until it can't keep you alive anymore, which is scary for especially when you sit there as a student and you think about the symptoms, or like you being bitten by a cat, and it's kind of crazy to think about that. I did Google though, and there seems to be no rabies cases since a lot of years in Austria, so it's nothing that should have happened. But if I vanish from YouTube suddenly and nothing ever comes, this could be the case though. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I'm fine, but let's not jinx it. Yeah, so there's that thing. So yeah, there's that thing you kind of have to deal with coming into the when you have some medical knowledge. On the one hand, you can detect diseases on yourself. Like, I know a doctor who realized he was getting a diabetic, or having a doctor who realized he was getting diabetes because he knows the symptoms, and he knows that something is wrong with his body and catched it early on, and helped himself that way. So it's not only a bad thing, it's just a thing of learning to balance. It's like what is possible, what is not possible, and to not freak out, but to more focus on this is something I can do, and maybe check out because it seems like something that could happen, or this is probably not happening to me. This would be out of nowhere. And last time, or when I checked my blood, because I check my blood regularly because of me being vegan, so I kind of know my overall blood sims. So I kind of know I'm overall should not be getting into a huge disaster. Like, things are working okay, and seems like I'm going to be alive for a little longer, hopefully a little big while longer. So the update basically this time is that things are getting realer. I did some things like I'm going to have a practical exam about like things like stitching wounds up, drawing blood, hanging on an infusion, like connecting yourself. English medical terms sometimes still get hard, but those basic things, and most of them I train constantly, like vaccines too, giving vaccines, by having a job besides uni, because I live alone and I need a job. And I think that's quite good kind of train it, so you get to know the things and feel more comfortable. That's worth a lot in a med school and helps you in the future. So and I'm quite happy also. It's a lot of fun to get closer to what you want to do in the future. So it's getting cooler and I absolutely love it. Besides things getting weird sometimes. Yeah. And I hope you like this video. That's kind of the update for now. I probably make an update next this summer about how the next semester went and how dissecting a body actually has been for me and will be in the future, because I got this semester and then 2 other semesters and then I'm done dissecting. if I am able to do it correctly. If I fail one, then it will just add up one more semester. Yeah. But let's hope that doesn't happen, and we will see in the future. My future we in like 6 months, let's say 5 months or so, we'll talk about it. Yeah, I'll hope I see you in my next video. Bye, have a great day.